Hello there, I'm Pashko, and I'm your host for Big Burrow. We have 8 faces from the free people of Middle-earth who will be shortly entering the Big Burrow house, where they will all live under one roof until you, the viewers, vote them out. There promises to be tension and trials for our contestants as they attempt to stay the longest in the Big Burrow house under the gaze of the Eye of Sauron. So without further ado, let's meet our contestants, shall we? Here's Pashrid Snakehead. With a small amount of hair and an even smaller amount of patience, Pashrid always believed that he deserved more than the humble beginnings that his upbringing in Rohan presented him. He tired of the emphasis on horse riding, much preferring hand-to-hand combat, which left him at odds with the Rohirrim. He shunned his fellow kin and travelled to Bree, much to the annoyance of his family, who forbade him to see his young daughter Escowyn. Now Escowyn grew up unaware that Pashrid was her father until a chance meeting at the Prancing Pony in Bree, in which he drunkenly boasted of his heroic exploits. Although his ego surpasses his ability, he is a man of much courage and one of whom great adventures lay ahead, or so he says anyway. So, let's hear it for Pashrid Snakehead, yay! Next up, we have Nimgileth Lumbar. Now, she is a lover of nature and animals, as we have grown to expect from the elves. We also expect beauty, which Nimgileth has in abundance. She is especially fond of birds, as of course is Pashrid that we met earlier, although Nimgileth prefers the flying sort. She is from Adiliant, so has travelled some way to get into the Big Burrow house. Despite her beauty, she is a member of that Rotten Ale Association. She enjoys the company of other elves, and I'm sure her fellow contestants will enjoy being in her company also. So let's have a rousing reception for Nimgileth! Now, there's bound to be tension with both dwarfs and elves in the house, so let's meet Pashadan Skullcrusher. Now he's a guardian dwarf from the Iron Hills and the proud founder of the Pesky Dwarf Preservation Society. He's earned much renown as a worthy fighter and sound metalsmith, and he likes his extreme sports. But perhaps he's best known for his, what many believe to be an unhealthy, obsession with Mim, the petty dwarf of whom the tales of Turin tell. Although the tales tell that Mim was the last of the petty dwarfs, Pashrin has set out on a journey throughout Middle-earth to put an end to this belief. So who knows what Pashrin may find inside the Big Burrow house. So let's hear it for Pashrin, everybody. Give a big cheer! At last! There's going to be hobbits in the house! Here's Daffodilya! Now she loves singing, music and tales. She's thinking about taking up fishing, but the water worries her. Oh, doesn't it all of us, eh? She dreams that one day she would do something worthy to be the subject of a tale or two. She has a twinkle in her eyes, as shiny as her silver hair. Here she is now, Daffodilya! So next up, we have Pashadan Laiquendie. Now, Pashadan was separated from his sister Pashrain from a young age. Pashadan remained in Lindon following the great rising of the water. For many years he remained there in an effort to prove himself as both a jeweller worthy to challenge the mighty Nolder, of which he is of the same bloodline, but also as a skilled lawmaster. On the discovery of the reappearance of the One Ring, Pashadan left his homelands to aid the ring bearer in every way that he could, whilst also discovering the beauty of Middle-earth. Now, he's taken some time off of that particular quest to join us here in the Big Burrow house. Right now, it's Pashadan! Ooh, a treat for the men now. Escowyn Anwar is the daughter of our earlier contestant Pashrid. She had a very troubled upbringing, as you would expect with such a father. The two do not get on very well at all, with her womanizing father once accidentally chatting her up in the prancing pony before he knew it was his long-lost daughter. They're bound to be fireworks here. Now, Escowyn is a fighter, a champion actually, and has something to prove to this world, as much as anything else, to prove she does not need her father at all. Oh, this is gonna be good. It's Escowyn! Well, we had one for the men. Well, how about one for the ladies? It's Blango Muddifoot. Now, Blango is a quiet hobbit who has never left the Shire. He doesn't like adventures, but he loves crafting. He spends most of his time making clothes and gathering materials such as metal and wood. His good looks make him a big hit with the young hobbit lasses. I just know you will all love him too. So into the Big Burrow house and into our hearts, it's Blango! So, we're nearly there. One more to go. Now, here we are. This is a big surprise. Dorralin is one of those rare sights. A female dwarf. My, I've never seen one before. She comes from the White Mountains, and unlike most female dwarfs, she's decided to adventure and hopes one day to meet a male dwarf who enjoys drinking ale as much as she does. That shouldn't be too hard. So, facial hair aplenty, it's Dorralin! So, that's everyone in. This week, you will be able to vote for who you want to be the first to leave. Well, as you can imagine, it's been pretty hectic in there, under the eye of Sauron. So, let's catch up with our contestants. Week 1. Pashrid was angry when he found out that the only human woman in the household was his daughter Escowyn. However, that didn't stop him trying to talk to the other ladies in the house.
You know, immortality isn't everything it's cracked up to be.
Pashadan was also sulking after being unable to concentrate on his book due to the loud singing and shouting from the dwarves.
No wonder you usually live underground. You can't be heard so well under there.
Nimgileth is also trying to escape the noise of the dwarves, but more importantly, Pashrin's body odour. Not everyone seems to mind though. There seems to be a bit of a budding romance starting between Pashrin and Dorralin.
Your eyes, they shine like a breastplate of mithril.
If only everyone was so happy inside the Big Burrow. Pashadan has discovered that the hobbits, Blango and Daffodilya, have eaten the entire day's rations by having not only breakfast, but also second breakfast and lunch. He was so angry that he went into the diary room to complain to the Eye of Sauron.
How many meals do they need? They're only small. Their stomachs must be as overinflated as their feet. There's no food left for the rest of us.
Escowyn and Pashrid had been arguing most of the week about how he wasn't there for her while she was growing up.
I didn't need you anyway, and it made me learn how to fight.
From what I've heard, you've also learned to drink.
Only to wipe you from my memory.
Blango and Daffodilya have been listening to Pashadan's tales, which have lasted the best part of the day, which is more than Blango has. So, there you have it. Now it's time for you to vote out the first contestant. Will it be Balding Madman Pashrid, Drinking Diva Escowyn, Sulking Elflord Pashadan, Moody Nature Lover Nimgileth, Odorous Bare-Chested Pashrin, Besotted Beardy Dwarf Lady Dorralin, the ever-hungry Blango, or the even hungrier Daffodilya. Now's your chance to vote. Make your vote count at anunexpectedvidcast.weebly.com. See you next week for the first eviction. Bye bye now.